Hey y'all, welcome back to From Service to Self, another episode. We have Tisa in the building, one of my longtime girls from the Navy. And I'm gonna dive right in, Tisa. I'm gonna ask you, what branch of service did you serve in and for how long?
I'm not going to let you dive right in. I'm going to say thank you so much for letting me be here. I'm going to say Sparkle has always been a beautiful, professional, good example, getting it done, intelligent, like personable, welcoming, friendly spirit. So no matter how long it is, in between times I see her or wherever I see her, is always a joy, and I'm very happy to be here. I see you doing your thing on all the socials, and as always, just nothing but the best for you, and I'm very proud. But
You,
okay,
honey, thank you.
um,
That is just such a blessing to hear. I appreciate you. Thank you so, so much.
of course, but no, you said so. I served in the Navy. Well,
Hoorah.
I know, right? Go Navy, be Army. But 10 years active duty in the Navy, and then it's been 15 years in the Navy Reserves. So that may be a bit of a different conversation. And I'm still serving in the reserves, looking forward to retirement here
Okay.
very shortly.
Okay, hoorah, that's what's up, Navy. We are like everybody that's been on literally legitly has been Navy. So Navy is representing like for real, for real.
Yeah.
I can appreciate your time and service. Thank you so much for all that you've done, all that you are continuing to do and give your time. And just yeah, I totally appreciate that. I'm gonna ask you the very first question now is what inspired you to join the Navy and what do you remember most about your time and service?
It's funny you use the word inspire. It's inspiration. It was a lack of access. It was like not having the proper guidance and mentorship, or lots of other people in my family who had been to college, because that was really my goal.
Mm.
And then, so not securing a full scholarship and being very fearful of like, okay, I don't want to. I'm from Detroit originally. I don't want to end up back home because I had friends and neighbors and classmates who did very well, went to college, and then couldn't afford to stay and ended up back home.
Yeah.
So not that that's not something an obstacle you can't get past, but I was just like, no, I need a surefire thing. And the Navy really came by happenstance, like another classmate, a young man who was actually going to be a nuclear engineer in the Navy, and having a conversation with him. And I was like, let me look into that. And so ended up in the Navy. Unfortunately, with no guidance, not doing a Navy ROTC program in college,
Mm.
which would have probably been the perfect path. But being enlisted in the Navy, which it still worked out. So as all things do.
Yeah, that's good. That's interesting. I get that. I get the change in like it was an inspiration, but like you said, just needing a way out or way forward. And that is I will say this, people need to hear that and understand it because sometimes people don't have what you may have, right? And people don't have a way forward. They don't have a path forward. They don't have funds for college. Like if they don't have, so that's amazing that you say the military is an option. It will
And
give
it
you all of that. It will give you a way forward. So I understand that. I totally understand that.
is a tool that you can use. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And people don't oftentimes see it as that because they don't know the benefits. And like you said, lack of guidance going in, you may miss a lot of what you can get, a lot of the benefits because you have not gotten that guidance. So I'm so happy that we have these conversations for real because people who are listening, who may be considering going in or even maybe considering getting out, can hear these stories and have clarity behind benefits or what you need to do in preparation to go in or in preparation to get out. So like I said, I totally appreciate you being here and just sharing this with us. What do you remember most about your time in service on active duty?
That though you can do some amazing things and see some amazing things and go some amazing places, it means so much more if you're doing it with friends and family or loved ones. So
Mm.
a lot of the things that I was able to experience, even at 18, 19, I remember being like, oh, this would really be great if my favorite cousin were here, or my girlfriend was
Yeah.
here. So it gave me an appreciation that after that, in my travels and in my experiences, to still continue doing those things and many more of those things, but really enjoying them now with my community and people who I love. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's good. Look at there. I'm gonna move to my second question then is what has been the most challenging part of transitioning to civilian life and what has helped you the most? Now, I already heard you say yes, you are still in the reserves, but you still had to transition, right? So talk to us about that. And to
Yeah.
tell us too about the reserve life, like how that is even working with your balance and things like that with working or whatever you do outside of still serving.
The hardest part was so people do assume, especially parents, and I'm sure you've gotten this, when they approach you in public, maybe they're interested of their child going to the military, and it's basically because like I just need somebody else to take care of them, and I know the military will completely take care of them. So the first thing I tell them is that is not true. They will have autonomy and be an adult and have opportunities to get in or find trouble if they so choose to, right? It's still like everything you have access to is not jail. Like you
Right.
have access to
Right, right,
everything
right.
you do at home. So that's one part of it. But then there is another part where they really do. So transitioning, having to learn about healthcare, how to get medical insurance. Like I was a full grown adult. Like I don't know how to get health
Right,
insurance or
right.
understand how those things work because I'm used to just go to medical if there's a problem, like certain things being set and taken care of and in place. Like so that was a big transition. And especially I guess if you get out when you're very young, that can be a bit jarring. Nothing is done for you, obviously, as we all know now. So that part, and then just not having the security blanket of you're going to get a check on the 1st and 15th.
Yeah.
So even if you completely ruin or your budget is not great and that money is gone, they'll have somewhere for you to sleep and somewhere for you to eat.
Yeah.
So until 2 weeks later. But now it's like it's just you and you got to figure it out and make it happen. So luckily, just growing up in my background, I was prepared for that. But it's still very much in the back of your mind, like there's no safety net. There's no it's you're just out here. And so some of those safety net that the military at least felt like it provided was gone. So that transition was a bit tough. But I didn't have long of a transition from active duty to the reserves, but it was yeah, it was just a bit difficult. And then the civilian workforce as a part of the military workforce completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, military was a team. Obviously, yes, you can advance and promote and be very forward moving in your own career, but it was still a team. Everybody is leaving. You're only going to stay a certain place 2 or 3 years. Civilian was a bit more cutthroat and competitive, and you know, no one really wanted to share information or work because it wasn't let's all get the work done so we can go home. It was like, well, no, why do you want to help me with my work? Like
Right.
this is my job, and my one was like, I don't want your job. I'm here and I'm trying to be productive and useful. So yeah, just a few things. I'm sure other people have different experiences, but those stood out the most.
With that, what helped you the most with that transition?
um Community. So you got to find people, other veterans who had transitioned,
Yeah.
who were either gone to the reserves or were just civilians, like still, because that's still access, right? Our communities, our networks, which some of us people of color don't build or tap into as much as we should. But yeah, tapping into them, lots of questions. How did you do this? Where do I go to do this? And then sharing that with other people as you learn things and not like gatekeeping. But that was the biggest help, was literally just using the people around me. Don't suffer in silence and trying to figure it out.
Oh, I love that. That's a gem for sure. That is definitely a gem. People do that often because they feel intimidated or they may feel like, well, I should know this and I don't want to ask because it makes me feel like, whatever. Nah, put that aside, man. You ain't never done it before. So you don't know what you
At
don't
all.
know. You got to ask the questions, right? So
Though I look
yeah.
old, I've not done
It
this before, guys. How do I
exactly.
do this? Yeah.
Exactly. So I can appreciate that. Do not suffer in silence. Ask what you need to ask. Get the clarity you need. Get the questions. Get the answers to the questions you have. All of that. Like that's very important. Okay, so let's go to question three. How has your identity changed since leaving the military, personally or professionally?
I would say since joining, I don't 25 years later, we often think about this or have this conversation in my house because you just don't know who you would be based on the path you take in life, right?
Hmm.
How it all works. Like, would I literally be the same person, thinking the same way, same personality? Obviously, the core things had I not done A through Z. So, but I think at the core it's the same. I think it probably just made it flourish more and made you embrace certain things more. Like, you know what? I do like structure. I do like organization. I do like being on a team. I do like getting the job done. I do like doing meaningful work. I do love service. I found out I am service is a core part of me. I'm still serving in various ways outside of just the Navy Reserve. Like, you know, sororities and volunteering and things like, oh, that is really something that they showed me that I enjoy. So probably just made those things flourish more,
Mm. Yeah.
and people see what you don't like,
Yeah.
you know, about yourself and about other people, and like what hard things, what you can do. You'd be surprised. Like some things that I've done, I would never think, oh, that I would have been able to do those things. But you know, was it whether it was physical or intellectual or whatever. So
Mm, that's really good. That's really, really good. I can understand it because I feel like you're the first person that has come on that says at the core of you, kind of you were who you were, and then just your journey has just enhanced that, or just made you your best self, which is very, very good. Because I will say, like, honestly, when I was young in the military, I oftentimes think about the fact that I wasn't as solid, I think, in my character when I was young. And the journey kind of it shaped me and it made me wave and waver and just kind of go with the wind. I'm a true Libra at heart, so that's just how we are sometimes. But I can appreciate somebody that says like they were solid in who they were, and the experiences just kind of help shape and mold a little bit, and them to be who they are. I can appreciate that so much. I wish I could have been more like that when I
you
was
may have been
young.
and you didn't know it, because I think that kind of helped me survive. That was the only female. It was not
Mm.
even a handful of black people. So I think kind of the core who you are in the life I had up, even though it was only 18 years
Yeah.
to that, though
Yeah.
that really like stabilized me, and that was my foundation, that no matter how bad this is, like,
Yeah.
okay, and that got me through to then as you're an adult, like, okay, now you can really grow and have more experiences and
Okay.
be you. So you probably were, but you just didn't see it that way.
Yeah,
But that
you're
don't
probably right.
see you that way, because
Yeah.
I would have thought that about you. But
Yeah. Interesting. You're probably right though. I can receive that. I definitely can receive that because I literally, honest to goodness, as I'm talking about this now with you, I literally just saw a message from my dad like 2 nights ago that had said something about you have just basically he's you my dad's that guy. He really is. That's my heart. And he just was saying how proud he was of me, but he had mentioned something about how at the core of you, you have always done and just been outstanding, and you have been pushed in life to be that person. It's just become a part of your characteristics. And he said a whole bunch else in the message, but now that we are talking about this, you're right. We don't see ourselves in that light because he also said that in the message. You may not see yourself that way, but that's how we see you, and that's how other people are watching you and see you.
yeah,
So I'm just like, man, crazy thing is this girl, we all off topic, but I'm gonna tell you, I literally just thought about the other night, and I was even telling my husband and just somebody else in the family that I finally feel like I am living in alignment. Whereas
yeah.
I know what my purpose is. I feel like I am truly living, walking, and flourishing in my purpose. Whereas for so many years, I did not feel like I knew what that was. But my husband asked me years ago, well, how you know you are not already doing your purpose? How you know you're not serving it? But what we're talking about now just makes me think and really, really kind of gives me a reality check that you probably really were and always have been, but you just have not seen it and received it that way because you probably were, I don't know, a lot of things, maybe just immature in your walk, your life, whatever. So I'm just so appreciative of this conversation because people need to hear that you are amazing, you are great, you are who you are, and your experiences and your journey help you to become your best self, and they shape and define you, right? And so these stories that we share are to give people inspiration and to help them get through whatever they may be getting through, and that may be a transition in their life. So I so appreciate that. I so appreciate that.
No, that's good to hear, and that's a blessing that he told you that, and that you
Hmm.
have like parents in your life to tell you that, because he's not lying,
Yeah, wow, thank you,
and
honey.
I'm glad
Thank
that
you,
you're in a
honey.
place to receive it. Because some people, you know, they may leave here and still never have received that or
Mm.
accepted that.
That's true. That is very true. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Before I start getting emotional,
I
honey,
know.
let me look
Before
right.
I start crying,
Okay, so question number four. What role does style, self-care, or self-expression play in your life today? Let me just say this before you even get started. First of all, I remember when we were in Bahrain, girl, I must say, honey, you was the flyest. Like hands down, every time you stepped out, killing the game. And at that point, like for real, I didn't even really understand like style and fashion that way. I was just dressing for me, but I would be like seeing you, and I'm like, this girl is super swaggy, like swagged out. Everything she put on fire, like legitly. And I'm like, how and why? And it just looks so effortless. And it was just like you look, girl, you was always that girl, always stepping out, always just killing, stepping on necks. And that wasn't even a thing back then. You was just doing it and didn't even know it. I promise you. So I'm so interested to hear this thought that you might have around like your style and self-care. Seriously, how do you even do that?
well, thank you, dear Sparkle. I received that, though I cringe at every old picture of me, as I'm sure we all do, all of us who are intelligent. So I'm glad I'm out of those phases. Back then, I thought I was cute, but
No, you
now
were,
I'm like,
honey. You were.
"Ooh,
Yes.
um, I think I have a shirt that I love. It says "Imagine Black Culture Without Detroit." So true. I'm from Detroit, and if you really know us or really from there, style kind of influences everything: the music, the cars,
Mm,
the hair. Um, so just like certain things in your personality that's just in you, like
yeah.
that was my granny and furs, and that was just it's just doesn't feel right if
Yeah.
I'm not expressing myself through style or wearing something like just you feel good when you put on
Yeah. Facts.
nice new clothes that you like, whether anyone else likes them, but you think, oh, this is hot. Like it just lifts you. So
Yeah.
I've always loved style, and not whether it's high end or not, just something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously don't want to revisit any of those outfits from back in the day. Um, but I think it's important because it is a form of self-care if you're into it, right?
Mm,
Anything that brings you joy is a form of self-care, and style and fashion absolutely brings me joy.
yeah.
Sneakers, glasses, everything from head to toe. Love it all. Coats, don't get me started. So yeah, it comes effortlessly. It's not like I'm studying things or looking to see what's the trend. I
Mm,
think that's the best way. Like just pieces that speak to you,
yeah.
that make you smile. And so that's just what it's always been. And so that helps because it is self-care even if you don't know it.
Yeah.
When you're far away from family, when you're deployed or doing missions that are hard, any little time like we have a port visiting, you can get dressed up. It just
Right.
lifts you up. So that's
Step
something
out.
that just exactly that always can get you through. Like a good shower, nice fresh fit. Like who doesn't feel good then? So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I totally appreciate that. Like seriously, because I swear you was fly girl. Every time I promise you you stepped out, I was like, okay, that shit kills. Like for real. Like that's a fly outfit. Like literally every single time I saw you, that was exactly what I was saying. Like hands down, I totally remember. I remember your birthday party when we were in Bahrain. You had a dinner or something, and you came and you had this white like tubed uh
Like
crop
corset.
on or something and like some little pants, and they had like you had the little beads around your neck like draped like layered of the girl. I was like killing it, honey. I'm serious. I can still remember vividly like yesterday. It was so cute, and I just always thought your style was just so fun and funky and just fly, and it's just swaggy and like you said super effortless. And so yeah, that was the inspiration for me, girl, like for real. So I'm
Well,
like,
thank you because you are a
"Mm,
style maven here. So I receive that. I take that and I deeply appreciate that. So thank you so
seriously. No,
much.
you are welcome, girl. You are welcome. Okay, so last question. If you could give your younger military self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Not to sound harsh or cutthroat or anything, because we're just talking about my military self, is to always be strategizing, playing the game, even if you're not. I mean, you're gonna have to some extent because you're in it, but understanding the game and the politics that are being played around you and like the
Mm,
system that you're in, and always be strategizing to put yourself in the best position, not in a way that's malicious to other people,
mhm.
or not true to your character or devious or anything, but to be looking at your promotions, your next level, your proper exit plan, and then what you're going to do later. Because for so many years, I was literally in survival mode of the military because I didn't like it. I hated it, but also I wasn't. I was just kind of stuck.
Mm,
Um, I wasn't making proper plans to get out. It was those people who, those of us who serve know, the people are like, I'm getting out. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And they're saying that and continuing to reenlist and continue to reenlist and
right.
and so that was me. And my mom was actually a catalyst when I got out and transitioned to the reserves. She was like, "Well, why are you even calling me with this? Because you don't like it and you've never liked it." And I was like, that's a good point. Why
Right.
am I having a whole debate about staying in? Like, oh my gosh, my career when all I've done is complain about this. Um, but that was just because I was so focused on this is uncomfortable, this is unfamiliar, this is hard,
Mm,
this isn't for me, and I wasn't seeing the tool and the benefits that it could be in the career that it could be, and I wasn't strategizing because unless you're doing your dream job, right,
yeah.
unless you're running your own foundation or whatever it is, every all the jobs, the career that I have now is I'm there. If they stop paying me, I won't show up, you
Right.
know. They're not my passions.
Right.
And
Right.
at 18 or 19, I didn't realize that about the military. Like, this isn't your passion, but it can be your career and it can be very
Facts.
fruitful and you can be very successful. So I wasn't making moves in that matter. Now I was still advancing and doing well just because of my work ethic and, my personality. So I was naturally moving up, but I could have been so much further, so much quicker
Mm,
and made it probably an easier ride and had more avenues open to me, but I wasn't tuned in that way. Where I think some other people were, and probably because they had mentorship and other things like that around. So one, get a good mentor, and two, even if you hate it or you don't see it as your future, set it up as if it is your only future. And I wasn't doing that. I was just really going through the motions and trying to survive it, and getting through. I wasn't putting things in place
yeah.
for it to be my future or to pay off. So that's the conversation I would have to sit me down and have with me.
Yeah.
Like, look, whether it's going to be 4 years or 30 years,
Right.
you need to be strategic when
Yeah.
doing it.
Wow, that is a gem. Like legitly, that is a gem, I swear, because people do that all the time. Get involved in things, whether it's the military, whether it's a job outside, no matter what it is, a activity you decide to sign up for. I don't care. People do that all the time. Get involved in things and not be strategic about why they're really doing it or what they really want to get from it, if that's the whole goal. Like, what is the goal? What's the plan? You're doing this for what reason? That
Yeah,
is a gem because so many people do not go into it thinking with that mindset. Like, okay, how can I use this?
yeah,
How can I use this to my benefit? How can I get in here, grow, glow, make dough, and get out, right? So that is so important. And I totally appreciate you dropping that. Because I didn't have a plan, but I'm grateful that I did have my dad who he had the plan for me, and
good.
it was like, yeah, this, and this, make sure it's done, check, check, check. Like he knew, but you're right. If you don't have the guidance and you don't have somebody like a mentor that can help tell you, hey, this is how you need to move. This is how you need to get this. This is how you're gonna promote. This is how you're gonna be set up in order to when you get out, you got a good job, a career a job that transitions into a good career where you can be making
That part.
money. People don't have that type of information given to them. So that is so, so, so important. But by the grace of God, honey, you got out, you doing your thing, successful, happy, looking good, flourishing, and that is a blessing. So I can,
Yeah.
like I said, appreciate hearing your story and you dropping those gems. Tell us what you're doing and how we can show up for you and support you if there's anything. Just talk about kind of, yeah, where you are in life and what you have going on, and however we can show up for you, we would love to do so.
You can show for me by just showing up for your community, for Black people,
Come through.
brown people, for the oppressed people, but and taking care of yourself, right? So at this stage in life, I'm very much, whether we call it self care or not, just taking care of myself, taking the naps as they can come,
Right.
taking as it can come, taking the joy. Because if you get to a place where you're not healthy or you can't, like, you'll wish that you spent the time that you could being grateful and enjoying the moments. You'll regret not having done so. So yeah, I'm taking care of me, and I hope that everyone else is taking care of them and supporting however they can, whatever their heart calls them to support.
No, I hear you. I can so appreciate that. Thank you so much, Tisa, for coming through and just sharing your story, sharing your journey, dropping all the gems and making us really, really think, honest to God, making us really think because these conversations are not even just for people transitioning in the military, but people are transitioning in their lives, period. Just no matter where they are, what phase they're in, what they're doing, maybe another career, maybe whatever, right? So they don't know what they don't know, just like we didn't know what we didn't know. And it is
Never.
these stories that allow them to kind of think outside of some of these boxes and question themselves and question their next move and just even be better prepared for that next move because sometimes hearing other people's stories and you get insights you know you just
Yeah.
so it helps and so I'm just so grateful for you coming through and just dropping all of that. Like I said, it's a blessing to hear women who have made their journeys and who have arrived at these places in life because we are accomplished. In my opinion, we have been somewhere, we've done things, we are accomplished, we doing our big one, we have lived some life, and
Yeah.
we got
Yeah.
wisdom, you know what I'm saying? We got wisdom that a lot of people could learn from. And so I don't think it's just talk. And it's you sharing that is a blessing, man. I'm just so grateful. I tell you that. So thank you again for showing up and just giving and pouring and allowing us to share in your story and grow how we can from it. So if you guys have not been keeping up or not been watching the series, go catch up, watch the other series, and stay tuned for the Friday drops. Tisa, thank you again. We love you so much. And until next time, everybody, bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.